me. Oops, what's going on? Yep.
Hey, Drew, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, okay, great. Nice sunny day here in England. So I'll go out for a nice walk in a minute. But okay, so when's Trump gonna come back?
Well, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Is he going to come back next week? Is he going to come back next month? Is he going to come back in 3 months? Is he going to come back in 6 months? Is he going to come back next year or the year after? We don't know. How long's a piece of string?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if people honestly want to sit there and wait, man, I don't know what they're expecting to wait for, because sitting there and waiting and hoping for a miracle that Trump's going to come back. Yeah, for sure he's going to come back. We all want him to come back. But when? When is he going to come back? Is that helping us? No, it's not. We've got brothers and sisters who are suffering. You know, some people are doing it all right. Some people can afford to wait. Others can't. But we've got people that are doing it hard. We've been robbed. People need to wake up, stand up. We've been robbed. The betting agencies and the betting operators fucking know it. We've been robbed. We've been fucked over. Now get off your asses, have a go, join us, because you're not going to get your money unless you fight. And if you think the greatest president that's ever walked the face of this earth could sit there and wait and have his job handed back to him, you're not thinking straight. You're not seeing the bigger picture, because we are just a few punters who owe billions of dollars between us all. If you don't stand up and fight for your money, you ain't going to get shit. We have to fight for it. So we have to join together. And if we don't, if we keep being divided by sitting and waiting or following old flip-flop, you're just going to get fooled around and you're going to get fucked over more. We were robbed by the betting agencies. They know Trump won. They know. They all know. Now, we need to stand together and we need to fight back. Well, we've got a plan. And we need people to join it, you know, not divide us. Because that's what they do. They get in our groups and they keep dividing us over and over.
Yeah, but yeah. But
we don't know when Trump's coming back. And you know what? If he does come back, do you think that they're just going to hand over the money? They're not going to hand over the money. They're not going to hand over the money because justice is just going to be served. It ain't going to happen. We've got to fight for it. We have to show what they did. And we know what they did. They robbed us. They know the truth.
Well,
okay, so we have a plan and we know how to expose it. We've got the evidence that they fraudulently used a third party to diminish their own liability under their own licensing.
Hold on a bit, Jay. A lot of people don't know much about this third party. I mean, who are these people that told us what the reality was that day? You know, I mean.
Okay, so the betting agencies, under their own licensing agreements and rules and conditioning under their licensing agreements, they have to investigate fraud by law, and they have to report on it by law. And that report has to go to the regulators. And from the regulators, that report goes to another party, to another government body. Now, we are demanding by letters of demand those reports. We have one report from Sportsbet, which is owned by Flutter, which again, Peter Jackson is the CEO of Flutter and Betfair and a lot of others.
Hang on a minute. So this Peter Jackson dude, he's the boss of all these.
He's the ringleader, mate. You know, he's a CEO, but you can call him a ringleader. The syndicate.
Yeah.
The subsidiary syndicate. So and these people know damn well what they've done. They know damn well what they're doing. They know damn well the truth, mate. Yeah. And people just need to wake up and start seeing it instead of looking at it.
Yeah, I know. Slow down a minute. So hang on. So let's get this straight. So this guy, the bet's on. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of fraud being called, a lot of dodgy stuff going on. We're hearing the Trump team complain about, I don't know, several different types of fraud. the main one was with some software called Dominion, and there's lots of dead people voting. Lots of people couldn't even observe the votes and all the rest of it. So there's a lot of shenanigans. And then somebody from Betfair, who holding our money, decides to say, "Oh yeah, we're going to have an investigation." So they get a company to investigate if there's any foul play, because they're not allowed to have foul play in their bets, are they?
No, you can't. That's by the law. It's under the Consumer Protection Framework.
Right.
Now,
okay. Yeah.
Betting agencies used a company called Democracy Docket.
Democracy Docket. So these are some sort of fact-checking company, aren't they? We hear a lot about.
Well, they're good as a fact checker. I mean, it's owned by Google.
I'm a fact checker. You're a fact checker. We all know.
Google was removing all the posts of voter fraud, and Google.
Hang on. Who owns this fact-checking company?
Google LLC.
So Google, who were removing a lot of this voter fraud stuff off the internet, and of YouTube, also owned the company that fact-checked our bet.
They were deplatforming people who shared it.
That sounds to me like conflict of interests. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but
well, it's the same as insider trading. I mean, like it's fixing the market, isn't it? You know, it's pretty much what's happened with the with Betfair, insider trading, wager fixing, odds fixing under the Flutter umbrella. I mean, you name it, it's going on. I mean, people have since Trump has left and we've had this D-class, people have been awakened to the share market and how everything's fixed. Everything is fixed.
Oh yeah, but they've actually stolen our money now, haven't they? Really?
They have our money and they know it, and we can prove it. We can prove irrefutably that the investigation they did by use of a third party, being Democracy Docket, that claimed that there was no credible evidence or there was no credible evidence that would have changed the outcome of the election. And that is absolute bullshit, absolute rubbish, and an absolute lie. And we only need to take them into court and make them view the evidence. That's all. Because if they want to go any further, it'll cost them a lot of fucking money, mate. And
yeah, but we still have to go. We still have to go and.
We still have to get. We still have to get there, and that's.
But to me, I mean, if you get, I mean, the idea of saying, "Oh no, nothing to see here, move on," and we've got this company which is clearly got a bit of a conflict of interest. Google's got links with China, the CCP, haven't they?
Well, Google is now working with the CCP, yeah. So I mean,
so hang on,
their numbers up, and
it's like a let's try. It sounds like we're attacking a big monster, big beast with loads of tentacles there. But really, the crux of this matter is who owes us our money? Betfair, Peter Jackson, isn't it?
Oh, the umbrella
Flutter,
brand.
Yeah.
Flutter.
So Flutter is the big thing, and then Betfair's underneath there.
Flutter has to pay out all punters across all countries.
Okay.
On all options.
I don't think people are going to be very happy to know that their bet was effectively called by
Democracy Docket.
Yeah, and they said there was no fraud, right, at all.
They claimed that there was no credible.
Because if there was fraud, we would be paid out. That's the rules, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if there was fraud, so ladies and gentlemen, if there was fraud, and if you believe there was fraud, we should have been paid out straight away. And
this is back in mid-December.
Right.
And,
so they're basically good.
Well before any ballot certification. The ballot certification by Congress is absolutely no bearing on our case. Inauguration is no bearing on the case. What the case is pivotal on is the fraud and interference. That's it.
That's it.
That is.
So it's quite simple, really.
It's simple.
So
it's as simple It's as simple as shit, mate.
Okay. So what? So we're at the stage now where we're demanding. Was it information? Aren't we? We're asking,
Yeah.
and we're doing it from the betting regulator, I believe, isn't it? That was last time we talked.
We've got further letters of demand being sent out to Betfair, Sportsbet.
Hold on a sec. A letter of demand is a legal instrument, isn't it?
It's a legal document.
Yeah, and it compels them to answer some questions, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
And if they do not answer the questions, then you can use that as evidence later on in court, can't you?
It can be used as evidence in court. That's correct.
And these are being sent off as we speak this week, isn't it?
They're being sent off to Betfair and Sportsbet, and then we have letters of demand going out to the regulators to build cases of criminal misconduct between the regulators and the betting operators. Because if people want to sit there and think that it's all going to be okay and we weren't robbed, you ain't seen the picture.
No, I mean,
we're working together.
People will rob you. Just generally want you time to pass, and that was then, and it was old stuff, and they want it. They want the energy, the anger, the shock, and we've gone through the shock and confusion, and now we really want our money now, isn't it? And we want well, I'm not expecting justice in this life, maybe in the next life, but I'll settle for my money at the moment. So,
look, come on, everyone's entitled to the money. We won the bet. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's all. But if we got to prove the criminal side of things, we're going to do it. You know what? Because I'll tell you what, if we done that to them, they wouldn't hesitate doing it to us.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Oh no, there'd be. I mean, I placed my bet, and then one of my bets, and then a few hours later it came in. They closed it, and I thought, God, if I was a.
Well, you placed it.
And if I stopped the check, also, example, let's say I stopped for someone, I went to the bank quickly and said, "This is foul play, stop the check." I think they'd have me in court. I think.
Well, they would, and they wouldn't hesitate.
They wouldn't hesitate, would they? Yeah.
If you cost them money, they would claim economic loss of income.
Oh yeah, and everything. Yeah, and legal costs and everything.
And legal costs. So people need to start seeing the bigger picture.
I don't know what Betfair are up to in all this, and quite frankly, I don't care now. It's just a case of but they've really dropped it one now, haven't they? They've
got to stop playing games and remember that without consumers, they don't have a market. And the thing is, we could bring that market down. We could bring the market down because we've got evidence to build a case of criminal misconduct, accomplices to fraud, internal fraud, wager fixing, insider trading. I mean, it doesn't end. And then it regulates between the regulators and the betting operators. Because by design and disguise, the regulators are there to protect the betting operators. That's how it works. They pretend to be on our side, and they ain't.
Because who pays for them? It's a club, isn't it? And we're not in it. That's it.
We ain't in it.
No. Okay.
So it's not a matter of sitting and waiting, and it's not a matter of being impatient. No one's impatient. This has gone on for 4 months, and it could go on for another 12 months. We don't know. We want Trump back.
No, I like Trump. I like Trump, but at the end of the day,
we had a bet. We won. The money.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, there's nothing Trump's going to do what Trump's going to do, but we do what we do, and
we do.
Yeah. And
at the end of the day, when you put on the table, what is it? There's probably over 1,000 pages of written testimony. Oh, there was
affidavits, wasn't it?
5,000 affidavits, for God's sake. I mean,
Yeah, I
You've
think
got over five. You know, you've probably got over 10 hours of recorded video evidence, and
yeah,
it's just it is.
that's why. I mean, I try. They're
We've
gone all
got the packet
quiet.
data of all the countries and the IP addresses hacking into the election, and this was before Congress. We've got the DNI Ratcliffe report. It says voter fraud,
That's it.
international
It's
and
over.
domestic.
Just on that, it should be over. And
In
they're
charge of
saying
17 intelligence agencies. He said international fraud and domestic fraud and interference. It happened.
that's
Okay?
it. And the Betfair and Flutter are saying no, nothing. See, it did not happen. We got this company. Google has said it didn't happen, and we've got that's real postmodernist crap, isn't it? In our with you that's your truth. It's like they're saying that's your truth. This is our truth, and there's no difference.
Well, there is a difference. There is a difference because
there is a difference. It's like saying it's daylight out there, and they're saying it's night, and I say no, it's daylight. Sorry, but
because the difference is you've got the robbers who are telling us there's no fraud.
yeah,
you've got the coup who says there's no fraud. You know, you haven't got somebody who's looked at the actual evidence.
I know.
Say and they haven't, they have. But
do not.
They haven't.
Yeah.
And God.
And what all they're doing, I've watched it. All they're doing is there's loads of information out in this, and I was in shock at first when this happened, and then after a while, I started trying to find out all the information. Gosh, is there a lot of information? There's information on this, that, different types of fraud you can focus on. You can focus on people that have supposedly been executed and the war that's going on. You can focus on that. But basically, my little bit is I placed a bet. I'm focused on the bet, and you must try. And if you want your money, you must say, right, I've got to be disciplined and focus on my bet and just go through the process. You just got to concentrate on the process. And once we get through that and we get paid, and then we can look at all the other things.
Well, then you can enjoy it, you know.
That's right, yeah.
But,
I'm going to keep this one a little short because we're going to do these a little bit more, once a week perhaps, or a bit more often. And
we'll try and do a couple a week, and and keep people posted and updated.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand, but it gets a little bit confusing and mind-boggling for people because they get sort of tunnel vision or they've got blinkers on and they're not sort of like looking at the bigger picture. And the thing is, you've got to, at the end of the day, you've got to sort of think like a lawyer but work like a barrister.
Yeah.
And I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a reporter. I'm not a journalist. But I don't fucking need to be either.
No,
nor do you. And nor do all the brothers and sisters who have been, none of us do. But the thing is, you've got to have a go and you've got to stand up and fight. Because if you don't, you're just making it harder.
I've listened to, I've been reading some of the threads, and sometimes when we talk about getting paid and all the rest of it, they say, well, look, Biden's in, or it appears that Biden's in, and Trump's got to come back, and there's got to be this big fanfare or something, and all the media have got to say, bow down and say Trump's the winner, and even then Betfair might not want to pay because that was a bet. They're very confused. I think there's a lot of confusion. All you've got to do is say there was a bet. Was there fraud in the election? Yes. That means due to their rules, they're gone out of it, disqualified. And there's only one bloke left, and they didn't call that, and that means that they're negligent. Everything else is, something else. That's it.
Everything else is noise, mate. It's just
Now it's all right to get involved with a bit of noise. I don't mind, but when we're talking, we're going to get our money, and that's all I want. I'm owed quite a lot of money, and I want to spend it. I'm not going to let him spend it. My money.
We've got people who owe millions, mate. So we've got
Yeah.
people who owed, like, 50,000, 200,000, 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. We've got people who owed all sorts of figures. And the thing is, you won your bets. You're entitled to money, and that's it.
That's it.
They used a third party to diminish their
loss.
Used Democracy Docket, which is owned by Google LLC, who claimed that out of 60 cases of fraud and interference, that there was no credible evidence which would have overturned the election. People, that is absolute fucking rubbish. All right? Get out of the mindset of just sitting and waiting, because we don't know how long it'll take for Trump to come back. He could be back next week, but even if he still is back next week, it doesn't mean that they're just going to the fucking money.
And we're not going to automatically get paid even if he does come back, because Trump's not going to go, oh God, there's all my supporters. I mean, he's clever, but he's not that clever. We've got to get the tools to actually get access to our money, and this is a tool. This is a process Jamie's worked out how to actually open the door. Now, maybe we might need some support. Maybe there's lots of maybes, but we have to help us do our own thing to get it.
Drew, share the links to our group, mate. We do need people to support us to chip in and keep paying for all the research and the legal documents to be written. We are going to need more money to get into the courtroom and present the evidence. If they want to get there, well, we'll get there.
But it's not.
They might cave in, mate. They might cave in the meantime. Funnier things have happened, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they want to end up in jail, these people? I don't know. But that we could send them there.
Well, I mean, I think when it depends how far we go. I mean, if they make it worth our while, we will. We'll have to look at that. I mean, this to me. I don't feel this is going to but look, hopefully we present the evidence and it'll all work out.
That's it, mate.
All right, then I'll end it there.
All right, thanks, Drew.
All right, bye.